Welcome back to Riverside, folks, and this time I've got a few neighbours. I haven't been here for a good long while, so it's good to see that my stuff's still here. I've got water collectors not disappeared, and no one's nicked my stove. It's a little bit spider webby, of course, but you'd expect that. Basically it's all here. Alright, camp set, it's dark. Time for a brew. So I'm sat quietly by the fire, waiting for the water to boil like you do. And I can hear scratching about in the undergrowth a little way off. And noisy little thing. Well, he's not little. He's about the size of the palm of my hand. He's quite a big chap. And busy, obviously. Places to be. Listen to this. Right above my head. You know, I'm not being the quietest. I've got a fire going and it's still up there. I've almost finished the first of 2 ales that my lovely wife bought me, so it's time for seasoned burgers in wraps. Yum. That's it, love, I'm dedicating this video to you. You've supplied me this evening beer, burgers and biscuits. You are the queen. What have I got here? 5 chocolate oaties and 5 ginger nuts. You are a goddess. I know it appears I'm only here to eat biscuits and burgers and drink coffee, but I am actually here to test kit tonight. I've got the new medium weight army issue sleeping bag and liner to try out, so we'll see how that fares at 2 or 3 in the morning when the chill's on. I've got a wicking t-shirt, issued one, the new fleece, Norgie fleece replacement, issued boot socks, and I've got an MTP Gore-Tex jacket just in case the weatherman's wrong and it does rain tomorrow. But I'm interested to see how all the cold weather stuff fares, so I'll report back to you in the morning. There's some cattle weirdness going on in the river. I think they're trying to invade my site. They're waded upstream. What is going on over there? I think and hope the bank's too steep this side for them to get up, so they're going to have to get up on the other side. But if there's a sudden eruption through the undergrowth, I'm legging it. Their eyes shine up in the torchlight and I'm not getting any of that, so I don't think they're this side. But if all hell breaks loose, you know I'm wrong. Make for a good YouTube video, wouldn't it? Insane running for your life. Moo! You tell them, mate. So that's my lot for the evening. I'm going to enjoy this and this, and I'll see you all again in the morning. It did rain quite heavily last night for about 3 or 4 hours, as the forecast promised, but the shelter did its usual cracking job of keeping the wind and the rain out. There is a small problem with the sleeping bag and liner though, the new medium weight issue one. Because I'm in a hammock, the liner's cotton, so it doesn't really give a lot of slip on your clothes, so you can't move about easily without getting tangled up. So I've got two options. I either do away with sleeping in a hammock completely because I love the bag, or just use the bag without the liner. So I think you know which option I'm going to take. So this is a new medium weight bag. It's got a couple of nice extra features on it. This is the one I like the best. It's got a zip repair kit in it, just inside the front flap. Basically just a spare zipper with instructions how to put it on. So in case you're in the field and you get stuck and you're on a cold one, you've got a means to sort that out, which I thought was a nice touch. It's got a nice simple front flap. The zip's very good quality. The baffle's not very thick, and at first that strikes you as why have they gone from a thick baffle to a thin one. But they've used better materials and better insulation on this model, hence the down to -37. This is the offending article, the cotton liner. It seems to me overcomplicated, and what they should have done possibly was have it zip in. I know that's extra expense if you're a manufacturer, but all these little tie things, I think there's two here, one at the top, a couple on the sides further down, and a couple at the foot. But because it's only tied in certain areas, everything else, while you're moving about in the night, everything else bunches up and gets caught under you and snags on your clothing, and it's just absolute murder to sleeping in a hammock. So I'm not going to bother. I'm definitely not going to stop doing hammocks, but I won't take the liner on hammock trips. When I'm on the ground, that's fine, because you've got more access to move about, but in here you're a little bit limited on space, and it's too much like hard work. So that's the only downside. If you're a hammock camper and you get one of these, I would suggest not using that, but you know, use one if you want to keep your bag clean. I don't get in a bag dirty anyway, I take my boots off. Give it a whirl. I suspect you'll come up against the same brick wall as I did, but you know, everyone's got to learn their own stuff, haven't they? But I tell you what, bag itself, really warm, really good quality bag. It doesn't feel as robust as the last one, the 90 pattern, but when you actually start using it, it is. It's just because I think it's made out of different material. I mean, it's all nylon and microfiber insulation and all that sort of stuff. But it's definitely something that they've used different. The material's slightly lighter, but you know, strength-wise, it's a pretty tough bag. But it does give that instant impression of being less quality, just because they've used lighter materials, I think. But actually, it's a very good bag. Nice draw-cooled face hole here, which gives you a good seal in cold weather. Very comfortable, very warm. There were a few instances where I had to unzip it and get my arms out in the middle of the night because it was just too warm. With the outer bag as well, I can see why it's rated down to -37, because it just holds all the heat that you generate. It doesn't let any of it out. It is a cracking piece of kit. I would definitely recommend getting hold of one if you can. There it is in all its glory. That's where your zipper repair kit is, in the front flap. See, it's still got the mesh pockets that the old ones had. But look, you see the problem. If you were on a sleep mat on the floor, that'd be fine because you could wriggle about in this, but in a hammock you just can't. Look, it all tangles up on itself. I don't know, maybe it should have been toggled into the bottom edge and zipped into the top, and then it would all just hold in place. When you open the bag, it would open, but as it stands, I mean, look at that. That's not good to anyone when they're in a hammock. I've been considering some other kit changes as well, so while I'm out on this trip, I thought I'd put forward the idea of a trade or a kit exchange with you guys. What I'm after is an MTP shelter sheet, either new or such good condition it's almost new, in exchange for this DPM shelter sheet and the two sleet sheet, shelter ends. So essentially you'll be getting everything you need to make a floating tent. The only thing that doesn't come with it is the guy lines, because I'm going to take them off and put them on the new MTP one. But you get my shelter sheet and the two ends. Now I've had mine, been using my shelter sheet for probably 5 years. It's in immaculate condition. There's no pinprick holes. It's fully waterproof, clean, aired after every trip out. So it's been very well looked after, as most of my kit is. So if anyone's up for a bit of a swap-see, just let me know. Cheers. Bit different since last time I filmed it, isn't it? Now this balsam's died back. There are still some exploding seed pods on the heads, the ones that are left, so I'll show you those in a little while. But yeah, it looks massively different now, it's not so lush. That's what mid-October will do for you. I'll give you a reminder of how lush and dense the coverage was here last time I filmed. And you can see it's pretty all-encompassing ground coverage. You have to hack your way through it just to get to your campsite, and then you have to clear an area to actually work in. This is what they look like when they're in bloom. A little bit like an orchid or an antirrhinum. And at the end of the season, when it all dies back, this is what you end up with. 6 to 7 feet seed factories. And these things are what makes this plant so prolific and so able to march down riverbanks out of control. The seed pods that it produces, when an animal brushes past them, or even they brush each other in the wind, or they go off by themselves sometimes just under pressure, or a YouTuber demonstrates it, this is what happens. They curl up and sort of explode the seeds out, and it doesn't go far. I mean, it's reported at like 7 meters, 6 or 7 meters, but even if it doesn't get that far, it's going to get a couple of... Whee, there's a good one. Whee, that went right over my head. That was a good one. I think as they go darker, they're better, actually. Oh, yeah, barely touched that one. But what a design. That was a good one. And these are what's left of the actual seed pod, like little curly spirals. And I'll see if I can get some of the seeds in my hand. And that's what gets ejected everywhere. I've noticed this hasn't rotted back. The sheaths that it sprouts from. And although like 60-70% of one of these is wet and damp, it all seems to, I don't know whether it gets wet and then it all soaks into one section as it dries, but a lot of it still crunchy. So I'm going to chuck a load of this in my stove when I put the lid and leave it here, so I've got loads of tinder for next time. Good stuff. As far as the issue clothing goes, it's all fine. Wicking t-shirt, although technically not thermal, it's good as a base layer, very comfortable. The fleece, I had a t-shirt on last night and it chilled off a little bit. Put this back on and within 30 seconds I was back to normal temperature and cosy again. So yeah, good bit of kit. And I've never had a top with these before, but it's got little thumb holes in the cuffs. So if you need that little bit of extra thermal on the back of your palms, because there's a lot of blood vessels there, aren't there, in cold weather, you've got the benefit of that as well. Boot socks, as you would expect, pretty average. They're not top end hiking socks from a specialist, are they? But they're pretty warm, although I think maybe the sleeping bag had a lot to do with the warm toes. And the Gore-Tex, it rained while I was in here last night, so I haven't had a chance to try that, but I've got a lot of faith in Army Gore-Tex. I've used DPM stuff before, and it does everything it's supposed to. It's windproof, it's waterproof, it brings you back up when you're cold. yeah, so I've got no real worries about that. Pete, I didn't get to test it, but I suppose you could say it's a good job it didn't rain today, otherwise I wouldn't be sat like this, would I? So, mission accomplished. A cheeky night out and a little bit of kit testing. I'll have a spot of lunch and then pack away. Dry tinder for next time, and a nice stack of firewood. Till the next time, YouTube, be safe and get out there. Hello.
Where's Dada? Where's Dada?
And here's the new addition to our family. Who are you? What's your name? What's your name? I'll do a proper introduction video later for you. Yes, Rocket Dog. Good girl.